All right, welcome to Creator Hardware, and today we're reviewing an InWin 1U chassis. The model is RF100S315. Now the 315 is for the 315 watt flex power supply that is included with this case. Now this is one of the nicest cases I've had the pleasure of working with. It does have some idiosyncrasies, and we're going to talk about that. Now this is my Proxmox install. Trying to save space in my short rack, so I'm trying to minimize the amount of rack space I use for certain servers. This doesn't have storage in it. I don't have a TrueNAS or anything like that virtualized on it. It's just services and virtual machines. So I don't need a big, huge case. Now it just has one M.2 and additional storage on a SATA drive, 16 or 32 gigs of RAM. I think it's 16. Probably get changed out at some point. 1U chassis, there's going to be some compromises. One of the big ones is you're not using your stock I/O shield. If you have a motherboard that has a built-in I/O shield, it ain't fitting. Period, end of story. Now InWin does have custom I/O shields for certain motherboards, but check the list on the website. They don't have it, they don't have it. 3D print it if you need to. Cooling is going to be a compromise no matter what, because it's a 1U chassis. It's just a SilverStone NTO7-115X, just a really low profile CPU cooler for Intel 10th gen, which is what this is. I run virtual machines, Proxmox, that's about it. So it's not going to get hit really hard with much. Now, one of the problems I ran into with this chassis was cooler bracket clearance. When I installed the motherboard down, the bracket behind here that's required in order to screw it down would bend the motherboard. I had to put in spacers. The reason there's no footage of me installing this is because it took about 4 tries trying to get the right combination to clear everything. So I've got washers under every standoff. Now this chassis will fit mini, micro, and full-size ATX as long as it does not have an integrated I/O shield. Obviously you don't want to run anything super heavy with a 315 watt power supply. I believe you can get this chassis with a higher watt power supply, as well as it's a flex. So you can buy a higher amperage flex power supply. It's a standard mounting. You know, being a 315 watt, it comes with 24 pin, 8 pin, and 4 SATA, and that's it. Now with the chassis, it includes 2 of these Delta fans. And I'm going to warn you up front, these are loud. I will be swapping them out for Noctuas, for noise. You know, if you don't know why my rack is right there where I film, I will be swapping these out for Noctuas, but they are 0.88 amps, so they are going to rip, which if you don't care about noise is good. Do not run them on a single header unless it's a high amp header. Now it comes with 3 mounts, so you can mount an additional fan. Now this bracket itself will run reversed on different ports back here, so if you need more clearance or whatever, you can swap the fans around. Now for storage, you have the ability to have 3 SSDs, 2.5-inch drive SSDs, as well as a single hard drive. All at the same time. The power supply has enough connectors for all 4 of them. Now this bracket up here for the hard drive is a little more sensitive because you got to line up a couple posts to get it to actually go down, but not hard at all. The SSD caddy down here is really nice. Now I have to point out, this would be an awesome chassis for a pfSense or OpenSense router or reverse mountable. So you can mount this. So this is at the front of your rack and have network card back here. Now it has a full-size PCI slot, single card, but this would be great for a pfSense. You know, put in a Intel card, you have to use a right angle adapter, obviously, and pfSense all day long, baby. So the lid just kind of slots in, and you've got a single thumb screw. Now, obviously, it's a smaller form factor, 1U, so pfSense would be awesome in here. Proxmox server like this. Storage, but if you're looking for a thin client for whatever workload you have, this is a really good option. It does not have any filtering, by the way, just an FYI. It's going to get dirty in your garage server room, but now front I/O is real simple. It's got 2 USB ports at the front, power switch, reset button, and obviously a couple lights for different services, but it's an excellent 1U chassis. I'm really impressed with this. Quickly, let's talk about some accessories. You can get the I/O shields I talked about earlier. You can get rails for it. It's not going to weigh that much, but you can get rails from it from InWin. Upgraded power supplies, additional fan, etc. Really good chassis. So if you're looking for a 1U chassis for a pfSense box, or like me, a Proxmox server, this would be a good option. 3 of them for high availability Proxmox would be really cool. I'm probably not going to do that, but it'd be a good option. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, thanks for watching. This is Creator Hardware.